I think the worst thing for somebody who's thinking of retirement is thinking, okay, I'm just going to not do anything until I retire.
Greetings, wealth builders. Welcome to Get Diversified, your go-to podcast for all things real estate investments.
I'm Jacqueline.
Melvin Landry. We're thrilled to embark on this wealth building journey with you.
Imagine this. What if your investments not only secure your future, but also unlock a life of financial freedom? That's what we're diving into on this show. Apartment buildings, storage facilities, mobile home parks, the whole shebang.
But here's the kicker. It's not just about investing. It's about crafting a legacy, building memories with your loved ones, and seizing every moment. Time is the currency of life. And let's be real, none of us wants to waste.
We've got the insights, experience, and dash of excitement to spice up your investing game. Plus, we'll throw in some real-life stories that'll make you see the potential in every brick and mortar.
Subscribe, buckle up, and get ready to turn your investments into the ticket to financial freedom. Together, we're not just building wealth, we're building the community of savvy investors. Let's get diversified.
I have this active, wonderful business. I've traveled to 22 countries worldwide. I've climbed Mount Everest and other major mountains. I've done a lot of, quote, so-called risky things. They really weren't to me. And I've invested the way I wanted to invest. So I think everybody's different. And
Yeah.
if you're choosing real estate, you want to choose somebody to be by your side that's knowledgeable in this, because it's not something to do on your own.
Yeah, that's great. Not only did you do business, which is investing, you did real estate and further, diversified your portfolio, which is all about what we talk about on this podcast, right? Get diversified. And we truly believe that you need to, have a little bit in high risk assets, low risk, medium, so on and so forth, and even outside of the real estate arena. So our goal in the next, 12 to 24 months is really to diversify out of the real estate bucket. If it's business or if it's oil and gas or if it's gold and silver, whatever it is, right? How can we further diversify with being more passive than an active investor, right? Because we
Right.
think about, why do we do what we do? Well, it's to have more time with our loved ones, more time to travel and do the things that you like. So up to this point, we haven't had much time, Kep. We're
I know you
super
haven't.
busy.
I think the worst thing for somebody who's thinking of retirement is thinking, okay, I'm just going to not do anything until I retire. And then when I retire, I'm going to do all these things.
Yeah.
Number one, they may not have enough money if they haven't managed their life well. They may not have their health. There are a lot of reasons why that plan doesn't work, and why personally I've done all the things I've done as I've been running my business and making my investments. I've done all that at the same time. So at the time that I retire, which quite frankly, I don't think will ever happen, but if it does, I'm going to have done all of this stuff already. Yeah. I'm not waiting to take some cruise to the Bahamas, which doesn't interest me in the first place. But so you know me enough also to know that my work in the area of brain health is a kind of my legacy to the business world.
Yes, talk to me more about that.
Okay, so we all, when we're a professional, we have people who become stuck in their business. You don't have those attributes, but a lot of business owners do. They're stuck, and when they're stuck, they can't see the things that they need to do. So I went to the Center for Brain Health at the University of Texas at Dallas about 3 years ago, and I said, what do you have for the healthy brain of a business owner who is just trapped by their business? They can't make outside investments. They can't make that inside investments in their business. They're just kind of living on it. And they showed me their science. It was great. I implemented it at Kepner CPA, and we had a 25% revenue increase with no personnel additions. We doubled our profits, and I saved about a third of my time running an active CPA practice. And so we had great results. So I had everybody in my firm take the training, and it was so good. I went back to the Center for Brain Health, and I said, let's collaborate. I want to take this to the business communities across the country, and they are a great research organization. They've been around 25 years, have wonderful science, do wonderful things, but they don't market their product to the degree that needs to reach their audience. So I have a contract with them I had special training to allow me to deliver this information. And so I formed MindSmarts, which is the name of this collaboration. And it includes a combination of our business acumen and the high performance brain training from the Center for Brain Health. And so I coach business owners, other CPAs, and financial advisors. Those are my three markets that I concentrate on implementing this high performance brain training protocols into their business and knowing what kind of result they will get if they put their effort to it.
Wow. Do they have somebody that does it in the real estate industry?
I would have to be that person.
Okay.
See, I said it earlier. See, you don't show those elements in your approach to business. You're active. You're doing a lot of things. You are growing. You are trying different things. You are looking for options all the time. So part of that training, incidentally, is about innovation. Well, you and Melvin are innovative thinkers. There isn't any question about it because I know you personally. So great. Love to teach you. Have to have a workshop or a kind of a boot camp showing all that to you and train you and follow up with you and coach you. But you are doing some of those things now. But a lot of people get stuck. And when you're an outsider looking in, you have the benefit of seeing things that somebody on the inside doesn't see. And so when you're talking to an investor, if let's say they're not a professional investor, they're just trying to learn where to put their money. Well, they might be stuck because they don't really know you. They're not sure about real estate. Their life's pretty, standardized and stuck. They're the people that probably need the brain training, not you, because you're an innovative thinker and you guys do things all the time to enhance your position in life, and you've even brought your son involved in it. And so these are all things that you do that illustrate the kinds of behavior that somebody with a healthy brain would exhibit.
So follow-up question to that, Kep, is it a lot of times I hear when I go to these real estate conferences is that you kind of have to reprogram your brain, right? And when I hear that reprogramming your brain, it's I can do it, I can think bigger. Is it around the same lines with?
There are specific things you can do that are proven by science.
Okay.
And let me give you one really simple example. When people drive home after listening to this podcast, they need to drive home with the radio off in their car. That will give them a whole different perspective. I've got my radio on all the time in the car, and when I turn it off, I don't want them to turn off your podcast, incidentally, after they listen to your podcast. But it'll give you a whole different sensation. And that's because you're resting your brain. When you think about when you get those aha moments in your business and your life, it's generally when you've given your brain a rest. So the Center for Brain Health talks about having 5-minute brain breaks every year. Every day.
That's good. See, every year.
Yeah, that's not right. Every day. And so I call those a 5-minute sabbatical. It's where you go away from what's causing all your brain work today, the things you're trying to solve, these important matters, as well as the million emails that you can't seem to get to, all these things. So the idea is take a break from that. You're always thinking, but a lot of people tell me, well, I get my great ideas when I wake up in the morning. That's where I get all my new ideas. Sometimes when they're exercising, because they're not concentrating on solving something that's really important. They're resting their brain. And so that's one simple thing that everybody can do. Your brain is a very hungry organ. It's only 2% or 3% of your whole body, but it takes about 20% of your nutrients, 20% of your hydration every day. So here's this little part of you that takes all these resources. And when you think about that, wow, if I go without hydration today very much, it's not equal. My brain suffers way more than the rest of my body because it needs more of these hydration and the nutrients. And so from a scientific standpoint, knowing how important your brain is to your life should give somebody a new perspective. Let's also understand that people are still people. I think of some time of our training as the absolute best Friday afternoon seminar information that's forgotten on Monday morning. Okay, you're thinking about some seminar you went to, aren't you? Right? Man, I'm going to implement that. That's great. That's the best stuff I've ever heard. So in reality, the way you really have to do that is you have to have follow-up coaching to make sure that you're using these tools and you make it part of the way you live your life. And so that's a part of what we do. Again, it's everybody is kind of interested in brain health. You are. I mean, it's kind of strange.
Yes, I love it. And I love that you went to this extent to continue working on it. And another thing that you said earlier on is how you've accomplished all these things in your life and you've climbed Mount Everest and you've done these other things. You are one of those people that are enjoying your journey.
As I go, yes.
To your whatever your financial freedom number looks like, which I think is extremely important. So I'm going to put my husband on the line here for a second. Sometimes we'll go to a closing, we'll come out and he'll be like, where's the next one? When are we closing on this? When are we closing on that? And I'm like, could we have like a brief celebration? Can we do a dinner or get me a Starbucks? But let's stop and think about that. I think sometimes he's so caught up in accomplished that he doesn't ever, stop and smell the roses. So, and I keep reminding him of that to just let him know that, you have to enjoy the journey.
Everybody is different. I have a neighbor, and one time I saw her in the hallway and she was, I don't know, talking about something. And I said, well, I'm always looking forward. I'm a forward, positive person. And she says, that's not good. Don't you enjoy the now? And I said, well, I live in the now and I enjoy every bit of it, but I'm always looking to the future. So maybe Melvin and I are the same person.
Exactly. So, hey, Kep, look, I think I lost my picture here, but let's just, and we're about out of time anyways. So if somebody wants to talk to you more about what we talked here about on the podcast, how can somebody find you?
They should look for me at Kepner CPA, KEPNERCPA.com. We're in Dallas, Texas, and our website for MindSmarts is going to be up in about a week, so people can always reach me. They can certainly phone me at 214-361-5081 and just mention the podcast, and I'll be happy to talk to them.
Fantastic. Well, thank you, Kep. Thanks so much for everything. I appreciate you as always, and we'll be in touch.
Okay, that sounds great. Thanks, Jackie.
All right. Thank you.
Jacqueline and Melvin, thank you so much for taking time out of your busy day to listen to this episode of Get Diversified. Please make sure to subscribe to our podcast so you don't miss out on future episodes. Finally, stop by our website and follow us on social media. Ciao for now. Make it a great day, and we'll see you next time. And remember, get diversified.